I thought today would be kind of something, or I thought something that would be fun to do today is a little, uh, a little memory test for me because before I started teaching at Pepperdine, I taught at a yoga studio in Malibu where the classes that we taught were exactly the same every time. Okay, and it was like it was it was a memorized flow, and it wasn't Bikram, but it was heated yoga, and so every single class was exactly the same to the point that even the same words were used, and so it almost like didn't matter who the teacher was, and people loved it because it's like predictable. They knew what to expect. They knew exactly what poses were going to be practiced, and it was also like great experience for me as a teacher because I got to kind of like learn how to teach a yoga class without actually having to come up with all the sequences. So all that to say, I'm going to do a little memory test here, and it has been probably 6 years since I have taught this class, and I'm not even sure if I can remember all the sequences, but I think I can. So I'm gonna try to dig deep and see if I can cough it up because I was inspired by one of my I was talking with a Pepperdine law student yesterday, and it's just like amazing how much they. Oh, you're stoked about this. Good, Dara. I was talking with a law student yesterday. It was just like amazing how much they memorize and how much time they spend studying. And I was like, man, I had a moment where I was like, oh, I don't feel like I know anything. I don't feel like I have anything memorized. Like I've never spent that much time just trying to ingest all that information. But then I was thinking about this yoga class that I used to teach, and I was like, well, that's actually kind of cool. So all that to say, it does not begin on your back. It begins in child's pose. So you've got your mat, you've got, you don't need any particular gear for this, but if you like to practice with a yoga block, go ahead and locate that. It is a pretty sweaty practice, but I also can't speak for the temperature of your house. And so it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be dripping with sweat at the end of this practice. That is always up to you. Okay, so begin in child's pose. So big toes come to touch, knees nice and wide, forehead is on the mat, reach the arms forward. And you can have the arms forward or you can have them down by your sides. It's totally up to you, but just for a moment, close your eyes. Become aware of your breath. Draw your breath into the belly and out of the belly. So child's pose is one of those poses that is always available to you. If at any point you get tired or overheated or you just need a little bit of a break, child's pose can be your resting pose where you can come back to the breath, come back to stillness. You can come back here anytime for any reason. And just as a reminder, even if you spend the entire hour in child's pose, you're still doing yoga, right? You don't have to perform or do everything perfectly because there's always tomorrow and there's always the next day. Remember that the reason we move our bodies, the reason we connect with our breath, the reason we invest this time and attention in our joints, our muscles, is so that they will continue working for us and last us throughout the duration of our natural lives, not so that we can create some sort of punishment for today, right? You're not here on the mat because you don't like your body. You're here on the mat because you do like your body and you want it to last and you want it to be strong and you want it to be supple and you want it to feel good every day of your life. And so that's just a reminder for you. And if you would, on the next inhale, go ahead and press up to tabletop. And let's take it through a few rounds of cat-cow here. So inhale as you lengthen the sternum forward. Exhale as you round the spine. Forward, backward flexion of the spine on your own time, on your own pace. And while you're taking it through a few rounds of cat-cow, maybe also draw some little neck circles. All right, now come back to a neutral spine and then pick up the right leg, press the right heel back behind you and have the leg in line with your hip. Fire up the core so that you're not just relaxing the belly toward the earth. And then on the inhale, pick up the left arm, reach the left fingertips forward. So as you reach forward from the fingertips and press back from the heel, find length through the crown of the head and stability through the right hand, the left knee. And now with control, any amount, see if you can sweep the left arm out to the left and the right leg out to the right, coming into kind of an airplane pose here. Now bring it back forward and exhale back down to tabletop. We're gonna do the same thing on the other side. Pick up the left leg, right arm, fire up the core here. So you're reaching from the shoulder, from the hip, really active, spread the fingertips nice and wide, flex the foot as though you could stand on the back wall. And then with control, swing the right arm out to the right, left leg out to the left. See if you can keep it hip height. Inhale, bring it back to center. Exhale, back to tabletop. Okay, back to the first side. Pick up the right leg, left arm, reach it forward. And now same thing, sweep the leg or the leg out to the side, arm out to the side, lift, lift, lift. Inhale, bring it back to center. And now just out of curiosity, bend that right knee and can you reach back, grab hold of the foot. Ooh. Now inhale, release, bring it back forward. Exhale, back to tabletop. All right, back to the second side. Pick up the left leg, right arm, reach it forward. And then find that airplane pose. So you're kicking the arm, the leg out to the side. Just for a moment, inhale, bring it back forward. And then see if you can reach back behind you, grab hold of that back foot. Inhale, bring it forward. Back to tabletop. Curl the toes under, take an inhale. And on the exhale, straighten the legs, lift the hips, take it back to downward facing dog. And just start to pedal the feet right, left, right, left. First downward facing dog of the day. So you're just getting acquainted with the movements here. All right, let's take it through a couple leg lifts. Inhale, lift the right leg, lead with the heel. So your toes are pointing toward the earth. Exhale, right leg back down. Other side, inhale, lift the left leg, lead with the heel. Exhale, left leg back down. Now we're gonna go back to the right side and we're gonna stack. So inhale, lift the right leg, and this time bend the knee, stack the right hip on top of left. Exhale, right leg back down. Inhale, lift the left leg, bend the knee, stack the hips. Exhale, left leg back down. Glance up at the hands, walk your feet forward to the top of the mat, coming into a forward fold. Take a soft bend in the knees. Slip your hands into your elbows and gently sway side to side. Nod your head yes, shake your head no. All right, release the elbows, bring the hands to the shins. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale to stand, sweep the arms, reach for the sky. Exhale, pull that breath to heart center. Let's take it through a couple half sun salutations here at the top of the mat. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale to stand, sweep the arms. Exhale, pull that breath to heart center. One more half sun salutation. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale to stand, sweep the arms. Exhale, hands to heart center. All right, we're going to do a couple side bends. Traditionally, in this sequence, it's both arms overhead. Personally, I don't love doing the side bending with both arms overhead. So I'm going to plant one hand on a hip. So I will cue it the way I prefer here as I'm warming up. So inhale, arms overhead. And then on the exhale, plant I'll mirror you, the left hand on the, or right hand on the right hip, reach up and over to the right. Nice long side stretch. So as you're here in this side stretch, think about counterbalancing with the hips. lift from the waist as you get this nice long side stretch. So imagine that your body is being squeezed between two panes of glass. And so your hips and your shoulders are in line with each other. You're not twisting, you're bending. Inhale, bring it back to center. Exhale, up and over, second side. So once again, I'm supporting myself with my lower hand. Up and over. Find length down the whole right side of the body as you slide the hips to the right side. Inhale, bring it back to center. And then we're going to take a little back bend here. And again, I'm going to plant my hands on my low back. If you wanted to have both arms overhead and do a standing back bend, then go ahead and do that. But this gets started by dropping your head back, looking up at the ceiling, and then try to look at the wall behind you as you press your hips forward. And then on the inhale, bring it back up to standing. All right, we're going to do those two side bends and the back bend one more time. So have your feet beneath the hips. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, up and over to the right first. So we're going to spend a little bit less time in this long stretch. Inhale, bring it back to center. Exhale, up and over to the left. Inhale, bring it back to center. Now comes the back bend. Drop the head back, relax the neck, try to look at the wall behind you. And then inhale, bring it back to center. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the mat, step it back to plank. We'll take it through a vinyasa flow. For this first one, lower all the way to the mat. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. 2 long, slow breaths in downward facing dog. Glance up at the hands. Walk, step, or float your feet to the top of the mat. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale to stand, sweep the arms. Exhale, pull that breath to heart center. I'm going to take it through one more full sun salutation. And for this one, if you're feeling a little bit warmer in the shoulders, the upper back, and you want to take chaturanga and then upward facing dog, that's your choice. But then, as always, you always have the option to lower all the way to the mat and take cobra as your back bend, just like any yoga practice we do together. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the mat, step it back to plank, take it through a flow, your choice. At the end of that exhale, glance up at the hands, walk, step, or float your feet to the top of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale to stand, sweep the arms. Exhale, pull that breath to heart center. Step the feet together, so toes, heels touch. And we're going to start with chair pose. Inhale, arms overhead. Elbows are straight, palms facing each other. Settle the hips down and back. Body weight is in the heels. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the mat. Take it through a flow. Inhale, lift the right leg. Exhale, step it through next to the right thumb, spin the back heel down, and on the inhale, rise for warrior one. So the elbows are straight, palms facing each other. The back heel is on the earth. So it's different from crescent lunge in the sense that you're getting a little bit more work for the inner thigh here as you work to pull the left hip forward. So it's less about the hip flexor. Take an inhale. On the exhale, hands to the earth, step back to plank, take it through a flow, or you can skip it. We'll all meet in downward facing dog. Left leg, inhale. Exhale, step it through. Spin the back heel down. Find that strong warrior one stance. Inhale, arms overhead, palms facing each other. So that back knee is straight. And just like on the other side, you're working to pull that right hip forward. So your hips aren't open to the right side of the room. They're square with the top of the mat. Take one more inhale. Exhale, hands to the earth. Take it through a flow. At the end of that exhale, glance up at the hands, walk, step, or float your feet top of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale to stand, sweep the arms. Exhale, pull that breath to heart center. All right, we're going to take a couple rounds of eagle pose. And so we'll do two of these, two sets of eagle. Eagle pose starts with the arms. So I'm gonna face you so you can see what I'm doing from right to left. Start with a nice level stance with your 2 feet. Inhale, both arms overhead. On the exhale, swing the left arm under the right. So I'll mirror you. Wrap your elbows, wrap your forearms around each other, and see if you can even get your palms facing each other. Right, and so your arms are wrapped around each other. Your forearms should be vertical, so aligned with the midline of the body. Take an inhale, and on the exhale, sit down low like you're sitting in a chair. Lift the left leg high and wrap it up and around your standing leg. So the knee that is on top should be the same side as the elbow that's below. So that's how you can check with eagle pose if you're doing it right. If you're doing the right leg in orientation with the arms, if you tap your elbow to your knee, that should be the same side. All right, and so the idea here is that the lower you sit, the more you can wrap the legs around each other, and also the higher you lift your leg, the more you can wrap. Settle your body weight back into the heel. So your wrists, your elbows, your knee, and your ankles should all be in one line down the front of the body. Remember to breathe. And on the next inhale, unwind the legs, the arms, everything arms overhead. We're going to go right into it on the other side. Swing the right arm under the left now. So opposite side as last time. Take an inhale. Sit down low like you're sitting in a chair. Pick up your right leg this time. Lift it high. Wrap it up and over the left standing leg. If you can, wrap the toes around the calf muscle, then great. If not, just point the toes in the direction that you want the toes to go. Settle it nice and low. Rock your body weight back into the heel. Sink lower. Remember to breathe. So just like on the other side, your wrists, elbows, knees, ankles in one line down the front of the body. You're twisting and wringing your body out like a rope. On the next inhale, unwind everything, arms overhead. And on the exhale, release the arms down by your sides. We're just going to pause here for a moment. Take a couple deep breaths before going right into the second set. Second set, inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, swing left arm under right, cross elbows, cross wrists. You know where to go now. Take an inhale. And on the exhale, sit down low like you're sitting in a chair. Pick up the left leg, wrap it high around that right standing leg. Point the toes in the direction you want them to go. So once again, if you can peek at yourself, either in a mirror or in your laptop, you should see your wrists, elbows, knees, and ankles in one line. If you find that your upper body is twisting one way and your lower body twisting the other way, bring it back into alignment. Remember to breathe. On the next inhale, unwind everything, arms overhead, right into it on the other side. Sweep the right arm under left. You can use momentum to get a nice deep wrap like that. Take an inhale, and on the exhale, sit down low. Lift the right leg high and wrap it around the left standing leg now. Remember to breathe. Ultimately, in eagle pose, once you find your wrap, once you find your legs situated and your arms situated, you want to find as much stillness as possible. So there's lots going on in all the limbs of the body. On the next inhale, unwind, arms overhead, and exhale. Release the arms down by your side. your palms forward. Okay, so there's a series of 3 standing poses. The first is chair pose. So step your feet together, so toes, heels touch. And then on the inhale, arms overhead, settle the hips down and back. Rock your body weight back into the heels. Chest is lifted, arms are lifted, elbows are facing each other. Find openness in the upper back, gaze is forward. For 3, 2, 1. On the next inhale, release. Okay, there's 2 more. And if you don't love the next 2, do chair pose again, right? Because chair pose is the first one, and each of the next 2 are different, but they can be a little bit uncomfortable, a little bit odd, and this might be your first time doing it. So the next one, bring your arms out, shoulder level, palms face down, kind of like a zombie walk. Lift your heels off the earth, so you're on the balls of the feet. And now have your gaze forward. And what I want you to do first is start to bend the knees and slide the upper body down as though you're sliding your torso down a wall behind you. Keep your heels lifted. So we're building strength in the ankles, the arms you're using for balance, gaze is forward. Don't go so low that your hips are settled on your ankles. You're hovering, using the strength in your quadriceps to focus and balance. Stay lifted. Check in with the heels, lift them even more. For 3, 2, 1. Press out of it. Everything down. Nice. I don't remember what the third one is. The third one's some sort of like, it's like strange, it's something else like that. But you know what? We're gonna do another set of that same ankle strengthening one. Bring the arms out, shoulder level, palms forward, palms facing down. Lift the heels off the earth. All right, so you know where you're going with this. Take an inhale and bend the knees, slide the hips down. See if you can go even a little bit lower than last time. Lots of focus, but don't lower until your hips touch your heels. Your quadriceps are working, your ankles are working, all your joints are working to keep you stabilized. For 3, 2, 1, press out of it. Nice. Give your legs a little shake. Okay, so if you wandered, come on back to the top of the mat. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step back to plank, take it through a flow. So we're gonna take it through the first flow sequence. Inhale, lift the right leg. Exhale, step it through. Crescent lunge on the inhale. Warrior 2 on the exhale. Flip the right palm up. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, reverse warrior. Inhale, shoulders over hips back to warrior 2. Exhale, side angle. Right hand finds the earth, left fingertips toward the sky, gaze goes up. Take an inhale. On the exhale, circle the left hand to the earth, lift the back heel. Inhale, revolve, side angle. Take one more inhale. And on the exhale, circle a hand to the earth. Now heel toe the right foot off to the right. And this is the part where having a really warm room starts to really have a lot of benefit, because by this point in practice, you could be warm enough to slip your right shoulder inside of the right knee. If you're not feeling like your hips are at that point yet, then skip this part. You might just hang out in this low lunge here. So these are your options. You've either got both hands on the earth inside the right foot, or you could try slipping the right shoulder inside the right knee, and you can interlace the hands around the right ankle. Remember to breathe. Also, if you're feeling like modifying here and trying something new, there's also an arm balance in here. Kind of fun and different. Remember to breathe. All right, come on back out of it. Press the palms into the earth. Step it back to plank. Take it through a flow. Left side. Inhale, lift the left leg. Exhale, step it through. Crescent lunge on the inhale. Warrior two on the exhale. Flip the left palm up. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, reverse warrior. Gaze goes up. Inhale, back to warrior two. Side angle on the exhale. Take an inhale. Exhale, circle the right hand to the earth. Lift the back heel. Inhale, revolve side angle to the left. Left fingertips toward the sky. Take an inhale. And then go ahead and circle the left hand back to the earth. Heel toe the left foot off to the left. And just like on the other side, you've got your low, low lunge here. Or you might try lowering the left arm, inside left shoulder, inside the left knee, and interlacing the hands around the ankle. Also, since I mentioned it on the other side, that same arm balance is available. That is not happening for me on this side. Couple deep breaths. All right, press the palms into the earth, step it back to plank, take it through a flow. Glance up at the hands, walk, step or float your feet to the top of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale to stand, sweep the arms. Exhale, pull that breath to heart center. Okay, we're gonna do some standing balancing now that we're nice and warm. Step to the back of your mat. All right, so from the back of your mat, we're gonna start out by doing what's called balancing stick. It really just looks like warrior three though. So what you're gonna do is inhale, arms overhead, bring the right knee up in line with the hip. And on the exhale, big step forward into the middle of the mat. Bring it into warrior three with your arms in airplane. So your hips, your shoulders are level with the earth. Crown of the head is forward, left toes pointing toward the earth, foot is flexed as though you could stand on that back wall. You're gonna come out of this the way you came into it, with a big step toward the back of the mat on the inhale, and exhale everything down. Other side, shift all of your body weight to your left leg, right leg. Inhale, left leg up in line with hip. Pause for a moment. Exhale, big step into that warrior three. Arms at airplane wings, pointing toward the back of the room, hips, shoulders level with the earth. Find one point on the floor that you're looking at, fix your gaze, don't forget to breathe. On the next inhale, come on out of it the way you came into it. Exhale everything down. All right. Couple more balancing poses. Shift all of your body weight to your left leg. Bring the right knee up in line with the hip. This pose is called standing forehead to knee. I think we've actually done it once or twice in our Friday class together. So if this is familiar to you, that's why. So start out with your standing leg nice and straight. Your hips are level with the earth. Your right knee is in line with the hip. The right foot is flexed. So keep the right leg where it is. The first move is that you're going to round the upper body down over the leg. So on the inhale, reach the arms overhead. And on the exhale, round the upper body down over that right leg. Interlace the hands around the sole of that right foot. And the idea is that you want to interlace the hands up to the webbing, okay? So you've got your arms wrapped really intensely around the sole of that right foot. Now, this may be as far as you go, especially if this is the first time you've done this. If you would like to take it further, take an inhale, and on the exhale, kick that right leg toward the front of the room. So you're kicking into your hands. I'm going to come on out of it because I don't do this very much. So you're kicking into your hands, and if both legs are straight, drop the elbows below the level of the knee, tuck your chin to your chest, and press your forehead to knee for 3, 2, 1. Now everybody come on out of it the way we came into it, and exhale everything down. Whew. It's a lot on the hamstring. Same thing, other side. Shift all of your body weight to your right leg. Bring the left knee up in line with the hip. Check in with your balance here. So your standing leg is nice and straight. Your hips are level. Your front knee is in line with your hip. Your left knee is in line with your hip. Foot is flexed. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, round the upper body down over that left leg. Interlace the hands up to the webbing. All right, so check in with your standing leg again. Make sure your quadricep is locked, lifting up on the kneecap. If you took it a step further on the other side, you may do so on this side as well. Take an inhale. And on the exhale, kick that left foot straight into the hands, kicking toward the front of the room. If you've got your balance and both legs are straight, try dropping the elbows below the level of the kneecap, tucking your chin to your chest, standing forehead to knee for 3, 2, 1. All right, go ahead and come on out of it the way you came into it. Nice, back of the mat. Come back to mountain pose. So just standing here with your palms face forward. All right, there's a little back bend after this one. So bring your hands around behind you. Place the palms on the low back for support. Start by standing up nice and straight, tall through the crown of the head. And then just like our first back bends of class, drop the head back, relax the neck. Try to look at the wall behind you. Press your hips forward. On the inhale, bring it back up to standing. All right, the next balancing pose is called standing big toe. And once again, I'm going to offer kind of a couple levels for it, because once again, this is not a pose that we do very much in class. So shift all of your body weight to your left foot. And then what you're going to do first is bend the right knee and then reach down with the peace fingers and thumbs. So the first 3 fingers of your right hand, reach down and grab hold of that right big toe. Okay, so right off the bat, you're getting a little bit of an external rotation in that hip because you're allowing the knee to drop out to the side just a little bit. Here, I'm going to turn towards you so you can see. So I'm going to grab hold of that big toe. I'm relaxing the knee out to the side. So once again, this might be as far as you go. This is a great balancing pose. I like to have my hand on my hip. It's totally up to you. You can kind of use your arm as balance. If you would like to take this further and your standing leg is straight, take an inhale. And on the exhale, kick that right foot straight into that right hand. All right, and so your foot is kicking forward. Your arm is pulling back, so keeping the leg in its socket. And you might stay here. Oh my gosh. You might stay here. If you would like to take this a bit further, I'm not going to. You can draw the right leg out to the side. So the idea here is that your right leg is out straight. And then when you get there, when your right leg is out straight out to the side, you would then shift your gaze over your left fingertips. Standing big toe for 3, 2, 1. All right, go ahead and bring your right leg back to center and bring it back to standing the way you came into it. These balancing poses are no joke. Imagine doing them in a 105-degree room. This is why people come back day after day, because they're just totally addicted to it or something like that. Okay, we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. Shift all of your body weight to your right leg. I'm gonna face you again because it was a little bit easier. All of your body weight to your right leg. Sorry, I'm not mirroring you anymore. Reach down, grab hold of the left big toe with your thumb and peace fingers of the left arm. So roll your shoulders back so you're nice and tall through the crown of the head. Your spine is in line with your standing leg. Like I said, this might be as far as you go. If you would like to take it a step further, take an inhale. And on the exhale, kick into the left arm, kicking the sole of the foot toward the front of the room. Both legs are straight. Still keep your shoulders back in line with your spine. So you're not hinging forward over that standing leg. Your shoulders are stacked over your hips. Take an inhale. On the exhale, open that left leg out to the left. Right arm goes out to the right. Shift your gaze over your right fingertips. Standing big toe for 3, 2, 1. Bring it back to center and slowly come out of it. Oof. Okay, come on back to the back of the mat. The last balancing pose is dancer pose. We've done this before a few times, so this will feel familiar for many of you. So, king dancer pose. Shift all of your body weight to your left foot. Bring your right elbow to the hip, palm face up. So you've got your right elbow out to the right. And now pick up the right leg. Reach back, grab hold of the right foot from the big toe side of the foot. So your palm is facing out toward the right. right? And if you want to know what the wrong way looks like, this is what I don't want you to do. I don't want you to grab hold of the outside of the foot. I want you to grab hold of the inside of the foot. All right, now reach your left fingertips toward the sky. Check in with your standing leg, make sure it's nice and straight. Take an inhale, lift up from the waist. And on the exhale, begin to kick into that right leg, kicking toward the sky as you also still reach through the crown of the head and the left fingertips toward the sky. And when you're kicking, when you reach your 100% as far as you can kick, then drop the upper body down so it's in line with the hips. Reach the left fingertips forward like the arrow pointing out of a bow. Kick your right foot into your right hand straight overhead for 3, 2, 1. Use the kick to come on out of it. And exhale everything down. In this form of yoga, in this tradition of yoga, that's called bow pose. But in the more like hatha yoga world, it's called dancer pose. The same pose. Shift all of your body weight to your right foot. Bring your left elbow to your waist, palm face up. Pick up the left foot, reach back, grab hold of that left foot. Same way you did on the other side. So from the big toe side, the palm is facing out. And again, check in with your standing leg, make sure it's nice and straight. All of these balancing poses require a straight standing leg. And if you find that you're doing something wonky with your standing leg, back up out of it until you can stand with a straight standing leg. That is your foundation for any of these balancing poses. So don't advance until your standing leg is nice and straight and strong. All right, now lift the right fingertips toward the sky, lift up from the waist. And on the exhale, kick into the left hand, kicking toward the sky. And if you have a mirror in front of you, I doubt you do, but if you have a mirror in front of you, your left shoulder will start to disappear behind your right. Right, and so as your foot kicks up overhead, and once you kick to your maximum, drop your upper body in line with your hips. So as your foot kicks up overhead, there's going to be a twist in the upper back because the left shoulder is pointing toward the back of the room, right shoulder pointing forward. But the hips, you're going to try to maintain square with the earth, right? So there is a twist down the spine here. As you kick and reach, equal intensity, opposite directions for 3, 2, 1. Use the kick to come out of it. And exhale everything down. Whew. Okay. In the traditional class sequence, we would do 2 sets of King Dancer or of bow pose, but we're going to move on because I don't want this to last the full 75 minutes. We'll be done in our usual hour. All right, so from our standing balancing, we're going to go back into a flow series. So come on back to the top of the mat. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, everything down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the mat. Take it through a flow. Inhale, lift the right leg, bend the knee, stack the hips. Exhale, step it through next to the right thumb. Bend the back heel down, inhale, bring it right into warrior 2. Flip the right palm up, inhale, reach forward. Exhale, reverse warrior. Inhale, back to warrior 2. And now shift the body weight forward into that right leg and bring it into half moon pose. So your standing leg is straight again. Right fingertips on the earth or a block. Left leg is floating and also straight, by the way. Left fingertips toward the sky. Look down on the floor, something that's not moving. Take an inhale, and then from half moon, take a soft bend in that standing leg, and then bring both hands to the earth for standing split. So the upper body goes down, the left leg goes high. Standing leg is straight once again. So counterbalance with that left leg. And if you're feeling pretty good about standing splits, maybe try wrapping one or both hands around the standing calf muscle for 3, 2, 1. All right, so still in standing splits, release the hands back to the earth, plant the left hand, standing leg is straight. Inhale, reach the right fingertips toward the sky for revolved half moon. Right fingertips toward the sky, kick both legs straight, take an inhale. And on the exhale, bring everything back to a forward fold at the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale to stand. Exhale, hands to heart center. Nice, we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Starting from the top of the mat. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the mat. Take it back to plank. Follow your breath through a flow. Inhale, lift the left leg, bend the knee, stack the hips. Exhale, step it through next to the left thumb. Crescent lunge on the inhale. Warrior 2 on the exhale. Put the left palm up, inhale, reach forward. Exhale, reverse warrior. Inhale, warrior 2. Shift your body weight forward into that left leg. Find your way into half moon. Left hand finds the earth, right fingertips to the sky. Your right leg is straight and strong, as though you could stand on that back wall. Stack your right shoulder on top of left, stack your right hip on top of left. Fire up the core. Okay, so the transition here is into standing split. So with that standing leg still straight, take an inhale. And on the exhale, actually take a soft bend in that knee. Just helps absorb a little bit of the movement of the hip joint. All right, so square your hips toward the earth now. Now straighten up that standing leg, take an inhale, and exhale into standing splits. So standing splits, your upper body goes down, your floating leg goes high. I'm not a good example of standing splits because I can't really get my leg up much higher than my hip joint, but if you see somebody doing standing splits at the full expression, the toes are pointing way up toward the sky, and it's just amazing. If you're feeling pretty good about this, maybe wrap one or both hands around your standing calf muscle. Take an inhale. And on the exhale, let's transition to a revolved half moon. So drop that right leg in line with the hips, flex the foot, have the right fingertips toward the earth, left fingertips toward the sky. Revolved half moon. Standing leg is straight. 3, 2, and 1. Come back to forward fold at the top of the mat. Yikes. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale to stand, sweep the arms. Exhale, pull that breath to heart center. Okay, we've got a minute to finish it off with tree pose, and then we'll do floor stretching, an amount of floor stretching. There's a lot more floor stretching in the regular sequence, but honestly, I don't remember all of it. Okay, shift off your body weight to your left leg. Bring the right knee up in line with the hip. Swing that right leg out to the side. Press the sole of your foot against your calf muscle, or you can reach down and bring it up above the kneecap. So your inner thigh or calf muscle. Keep drawing the knee out to the side. Inhale, arms overhead. Let your branches grow. Tree pose. So this is our last balancing pose. This is our last standing pose of practice. And so have this be a moment of gratitude. A moment to appreciate everything you've done, the work you've put in, the ability that you have. Take an inhale. And on the exhale, everything down. Other side. Shift all of your body weight to your right leg. Pick up the left knee in line with the hip and shift or circle that left knee out to the left, or Reach down, grab hold of the left foot and bring it up above the kneecap. Standing leg is straight. Inhale, arms overhead. And if you would like to take a different expression with your arms, tree pose usually has the arms overhead, but if you prefer to have your hands at heart center, or you could seal your palms and have them straight toward the sky. You could even interlace the fingers, point the index. One more inhale. On the exhale, everything down. All right, have a seat on the mat, have the legs out in front of you. I'm going to start with a separate leg stretch. So have the right leg straight, have the left knee bent. Inhale, arms overhead, square the shoulders over the right leg, and on the exhale, hinge forward and down over the right leg. On the next inhale, press back up to seated and switch sides. Have the left leg straight, right is bent. Inhale, arms overhead, square the shoulders over the left leg. Exhale, fold forward and down. And slowly press back up to seated. Bring the soles of your feet together for one set of butterfly. Soles of the feet together. Take an inhale. Then on the exhale, hinge forward and down over the legs. I like to use my elbows to press the knees out to the side, or some people prefer to just walk the hands forward, reaching for the front of the room. Either way, relax the head, relax the neck, relax the shoulders. All right, come on back to seated. Let's do a set of double pigeons. So release the left leg down onto the earth. Actually, I'm gonna mirror you, or I'm gonna face you. So release your left leg down onto the earth, shin parallel with the top of the mat. Now pick up the right leg and stack the right shin on top of the left. And so knee over ankle, ankle over knee. So this is double pigeon. Single pigeon is just the one with the left leg back, but a pretty intense hip opener. So for that reason, maybe just seated in this is as far as you might go. If you like the way this feels and you think you might want to take even a little bit more sensation in your hips here, take an inhale. Now on the exhale, hinge forward and down over the legs. So find a level here for this double pigeon that allows you to find ease and rest in this stretch, allows you to breathe, allows you to not feel like you're gritting your teeth or forcing yourself into anything, but that this is truly a life-giving stretch for you. And on the next inhale, come on back to seated, switch sides. So your right leg finds the earth and then stack your left shin on top of right. So similar stretch, but it just focuses on the opposite hip now. Once you've got your legs all situated, take an inhale. And on the exhale, hinge forward any amount. All right, and then come on back out of it. Straighten out the legs in front of you. We're going to do one last hamstring stretch, a seated forward fold. So before you get into it, something that helps you access a deeper stretch is to, once your legs are straight, try walking your hips back, right, left, so that your pelvis is more tilted forward, so you can get the fleshy part of your hips out from under you. Inhale, arms overhead, and on the exhale, hands forward and down over your legs, reaching for your toes. And lengthen the crown of the head forward. Some people like to grab the big toes with the peace fingers and thumb of their hands. You've already done this once today. So as you pull on the toes and lengthen the crown of the head forward, with every inhale, with every exhale, you might sink just a little bit deeper into the stretch. You should feel a little bit of stretch in your low back, as well as obviously your hamstrings. All right, and then on the next inhale, press back up to seated and bring the legs around in front of you. Make your way into a resting pose for you today. So take whatever Shavasana works for you. You might go there first by way of Happy Baby, if you would like to take one quick pit stop in Happy Baby or any other reclined stretch that would feel really nice for you today. If you want to take a shoulder stand, anything like that. Just eventually do make your way into a final resting pose, whatever that looks like for you. We're going to hang out here for a few moments before I pull us out of it. Shavasana. And slowly begin to reawaken the body. Wiggle the fingers, the toes, roll out the wrists, the ankles. Reach the arms overhead toward the back, point the toes toward the front. Take a deep breath and a full body stretch from fingers to toes and everything in between. And then on the exhale, roll over to the right side. And when you're ready, press the earth away. Make your way back up to a comfortable seated position, whatever that looks like for you. Lightly rest your hands on your knees. Close your eyes when you get there. Take a few deep, slow breaths. Notice the quality, the depth, the ease. These are things you brought about as a result of your practice. On the next inhale, sweep the arms overhead. Exhale, pull that breath to heart center. Thank you for allowing me to guide you through your practice. Have a beautiful weekend. Namaste.